slanted voices, frantic choices reflected in our weak grip, slow drips of history, sips of a mystery dance machine through fields of toxic green dollar bills screaming for some sense of real human value. The Dow Jones up, rise in the GDP, and TV faces telling us to smile and be happy. Things are good now, despite the earthquakes, shooting children, and the oh-so-silent, shut up, inequality. What if we were entering into a new time? A time when the very systems of control and commerce that we had believed to be the status quo were somehow no longer relevant? What if we were faced with a new medium, a new network, a new system that connected the people and places of the world in a new way? What if that system is here? What if that time is now? Listen to the rhythms of our slanted voices, frantic choices reflected in our weak grip, slow drips of history, sips of a mystery dance machine through fields of toxic green dollar bills screaming for some sense of real human value. The Dow Jones up, rise in the GDP, and TV faces telling us to smile and be happy. Things are good now, despite the earthquakes, shooting children, and the oh-so-silent, shut up, inequality. My rampant language stumbles through meaning, and yet I find some sense of peace and resolution in this space of empty conclusion.
Everybody hear me?
Use the mic.
Okay, I'll hold this. Yeah, so we went over there. There was probably, maybe 300 people there. Kind of feeling, I don't know what this square is called there. St. Andrew's Square. Okay, I'm new here. If you can't tell. Yeah, there's a good amount of people there. Kind of all different, seem to be different walks of life, I guess. It's really cool just to see, different people turning out to these events, and there's a lot of people from Spain, Greece, there's some French people there, every different kind of people there, and it really is a global movement. We obviously, like it says, we are the 99%. And I just got here this last month, and I've been loving it. I just want to say I'm American. Sorry. Yeah, right. But I just want to say, in 2008, we elected Barack Obama. I think us and the world expecting that things would be different. And unfortunately, things haven't really changed that much. It's nice to see that, I guess we sort of have healthcare now, whatever. But what I'm trying to say here is that there's a status quo that exists in America and around the world. And I think what this is really about, whether, you're an anarchist like we saw in Edinburgh or what have you, it's about changing the status quo and changing the way that how things exist now. Where 1% are catered to and they control, what happens in the world, and that's just not the way it should be. It's our world, and we deserve to have it. So, yeah.
Can you say a bit about what happened?
Yeah. So in Edinburgh, let's see. So we occupied, and we had a bit of a general assembly, and anybody who wanted to talk got to go up and talk. Then we went on a bit of a march, throughout, I think, was it the city center? Yeah, we went on a march, and it just seemed everybody was coming out of their shops to have a look at us. I think it was probably about 70 or 80 people that went on the march, and had a couple sit downs in some major intersections and stopped traffic a bit, and you know, just made people aware of what's happening, and I think that that's just what needs to keep happening. So.